are peptides being brought back to the market and taken off the FDA, the category 2 ban. So the peptides that came off were BPC, which there's pentadecapeptide, which is very similar. I think it's got 1 amino acid difference. The CJC Ipamorelins, big. Thymosin Beta-4. These are all great, especially if you're looking to build muscle and recovery from workouts. I use them quite often, and I put in my order
some of the most
away.
commonly used peptides, right?
Yeah.
For longevity, building muscle mass,
Yeah.
even some type of healthy weight loss.
Yeah.
So CJC Ipamorelin, what's that good for?
So growth hormone, peptide releasing hormone, and growth hormone releasing peptide. They're good to increase the production and release of growth hormone in your system. Good for sleep, better skin, increased lean muscle mass, better thought process.
Overall health, right?
Yeah,
bone density, because this just affects the amount of growth hormone your body naturally releases.
I just started I switched over to Tessa Morland for a little bit. The recommended doses of Tessa Morland is like 1 milligram every day for 6 days. I take half that dose to try it out, and I'm probably going to cut that in half. And surprisingly, I don't know if it's the Carol bike or what. I put on 5 pounds of muscle by the in-body scale, and I've gone down like 0.4 in body fat percentage. So is it the Tessa Morland or what's going on?
That's pretty good.
I know.
If you're cutting down body fat percentage, and that's just straight up adding lean muscle.
In-body, I was like, shit, I weigh 204 pounds, and I was like, my body fat percentage is the lowest it's been, and skeletal muscle mass increased by 5 pounds.
So I think people our age think when it's hearing stuff about growth hormone, you don't realize the difference between growth hormone releasing peptides and just injecting growth hormone. One's to try to actually live a healthier life, build on longevity, feel better, better sleep, like you said. And another one's trying to hit 71 home runs in one season.
I've taken both.
There we go.
I'll say that. So one of them is going to shut down your system of producing growth hormone. And for someone like me, it wasn't just that. It's getting carpal tunnel and joint pains. You get up and...
It was a little scary just seeing you having those symptoms. You weren't afraid of it.
Yeah.
But I'm just you can definitely not just take growth hormone and...
And I was even taking the lower doses. It's just you get so much swelling and bone growth that in closed spaces.
Not just bone, ligaments, tendons, everything tends to overgrow. Forehead.
Yeah, in an enclosed space.
The forehead enlargement won't cause any
I just shaved
symptoms.
that down.
Yeah, and it doesn't cause any symptoms, just will affect your selfie.
Yeah.
So you got to keep note of that.
But as we thought, was it a big pharma thing that the FDA regulated these? And guess what? That same day the FDA released these peptides, they took tirzepatide off the short list. Yeah. Not the short bus, but the short list.
Yeah.
Or shortage list, which means that the compound pharmacies can't make any tirzepatide. So what does that do for the community? People that have been on tirzepatide, now you're going to have to pay, if you're getting it through insurance, not many of them cover it, and you're paying $1,600 a month for tirzepatide. So
tirzepatide's the generic name for Mounjaro. It's one of the leading GLP-1 agonists. Also affects GIP receptor 2. Phenomenal drug, but it's kind of like regulatory capture. You have the big pharma lobbying Washington for all this stuff. Yeah. So this is what you're going to see.
But the compound pharmacies are going to mix them with some vitamins or some other peptides to be able to get them out. We'll see what happens.
I think it's just temporary, especially with
I heard it's not, when they put it on the shortage list, it was just Novo Nordisk that makes semaglutide, and what is it? Eli Lilly makes Mounjaro. They couldn't make the needles as fast as, because they can make the medication.
It's not even the medication, it's the injection.
Injection. That was the major issue.
Everybody going through insurance, it ends up costing $1,200 to $1,600 a month, right?
Yeah.
It's you can regularly get this for people at way lower price, $200 to $300 a month.
Pharmaceutical grade's going to be stronger, but really how much stronger?
So. I mean, it's all pharmaceutical grade, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, but
what do you mean?
But just their mechanism of action is going to be somewhat different because
I just think they make it easier because like I've heard people with like semaglutide, it's like, oh yeah, I felt okay with this. So I just clicked the pen a little higher the next day, but I needed more pens that month. Yeah, that's how they get you.
With the Mounjaro, they're not clickable pens. You don't control the dose. So you get, they give you single dose.
All right.
Yeah.
CJC Ipamorelin, huge benefits with growth hormone release peptides. So it uses your body's natural growth hormones, releases them optimally at the right time of day, as long as you do twice a day or once a day.
You control it. You control when you want to inject it.
But ideally, it's once at morning, once at night, 5 to 6 days a week.
It depends what you want to do. So you're going to get your release once you fall asleep and you hit that deep sleep phase, you're going to get the growth hormone release. So if you want 2 releases, you do like an injection early in the morning. So you get that, you get 2 bumps. You know, I used to do it at night. It becomes cumbersome to be doing injections, you know, twice a day.
Yeah.
So I just do it in the morning.
Okay.
Because at night, sometimes it would get iffy, you know, because you want to be fasting 90 minutes before you inject it. Otherwise, if you take any carbs, or I think carbs or proteins, that could decrease the effect, or like not having any effect if you eat something. So you wouldn't get that spike in your growth hormone. So it's like you're just injecting for fun.
Got you.
Yeah. So you want to be fasting 90 minutes before and 30 minutes after the injection. So.
And the other key peptides?
BPC is the biggest one, which, you know, like...
I can't believe they even had that on the list.
I don't know why it's like banned by WADA, the World Athletics Association.
Pretty much anti-inflammatory, right?
Yeah.
And improves gut health.
Like the gut health part, the oral was still available, which you could still do that. But the injectable, like for aches and pains and like tendon and ligament repairs, you know, I've had patients with like ACL tears and like they've injected it and, you know, their orthopedic surgeon can't believe how fast they healed post-surgery. It almost looks like they had nothing done. Yeah. You could either inject it into the knee or just in the stomach. It doesn't matter. You don't need to inject it into the joint.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Not even into the joint, even like just sub-Q, around it, close to the area. Yeah. Kind of like regional. Some
of the people that work for it, a lot of people have back issues and back pain and nothing else has worked, but they've done this for 2-3 weeks and that back pain's gone. And that's huge benefit. And especially, you know, like when I did that in TB4, like I could probably like work out as hard as possible and like do the same thing the next day. It's like, if you're talking about a pre-post workout, that recovery is going to be quick and you could burn through whatever you want. It's definitely good peptides for that.
And what else was on that list? I think those are the 2 main ones. I think the rest are, was it TS4?
Well, it was TB4.
I'm
sorry.
The
BPC, CJC.
Yeah, those are the main ones. They were 5, but those are the main ones. And the other 2, I think, worked along the growth hormone. Pathway. So key takeaways, you don't want to do straight up growth hormone. It shuts your body's natural ability to create growth hormone. With these releasing peptides, it just promotes your body to make the proper amount. You do have to cycle or else you're going to burn out. Anytime you're talking about hormones, you kick stuff into extra gear for a long period of time. You're going to burn out receptors and you're going to burn out your body's ability to create those hormones. So you definitely want to follow the cycle. You're not on there for 12 months straight, likely 3 months on, 3 months off, or even 3 months out of the year. And then when you're taking it, it's like 5 to 6 days a week. Those are the takeaways for growth hormone releasing peptides. With BPC, you probably don't need to take that all the time continuously.
With any of these, I'd cycle them, you know, like because your body doesn't always need them. You know, BPC especially or TB4, and especially you're injecting them. You know, I would recommend like taking BPC injections maybe 2-3 cycles a month at a time throughout the year. You could do oral for a month in between as well, or a couple months just for your gut health.
Yeah, I think it would serve a different type of benefit doing it oral.